Hello beautiful people. Today I'm going to be talking about loneliness and loneliness during travel specifically. So because I travel in my self-converted camper van as a solo female, a lot of people often ask me whether or not I get lonely. And to that I answer that being alone and being lonely are two completely different things. But because people experience both of them together a lot of times, they link the two together. That's not necessarily the case though. I've felt more alone in a room full of people than I have when I'm actually alone a lot of times. But there definitely is a problem. I don't know if you could call it a problem, but there's definitely something happening here where a lot of people are feeling lonely. In fact, there was a study done with I think 55,000 people, and about 40% of them from the ages of 16 to 24 reported feeling extremely lonely. It's hard to say whether or not that's them being alone though, but I definitely think that this is something we can work on and we can learn. We can learn to love our alone time, and I think that that's a very important thing for us to do. And I think that we don't do it enough, and because we aren't alone enough, I think that that really inhibits our relationship with other people. I want to read you guys a quote about this because I do think that our capacity to be alone strongly influences our capacity to love. We often hear that we have to love ourselves before we can love other people. There's the analogy that on the plane, when you're on a flight, they have those face mask thingies for, I don't know, like if there's a problem. And they always tell you to put yours on before you put other people's on. You need to take care of yourself first. You need to love yourself first. So I do think that being alone is a very important skill for everyone to have. Okay, so I'll read you this quote. It is by Osho, and it says, "The capacity to be alone is the capacity to love. It may look paradoxical to you, but it is not. It is an existential truth. Only those people who are capable of being alone are capable of love, of sharing, of going into the deepest core of another person without possessing the other, without becoming dependent on the other, without reducing the other to a thing, and without becoming addicted to the other. They allow the other absolute freedom because they know that if the other leaves, they will be as happy as they are now. Their happiness cannot be taken by the other because it is not given by the other." One of the most important things I think I ever did was go to a meditation retreat or begin meditating at all. I think this is a big step into learning to be alone and loving being alone. Because a lot of times when we're alone, we're not really alone. We're doing something to take our minds off of our thoughts and off of what's happening within. That may be something very superficial, such as social media, TV, Netflix, stuff like that. Or it could be something that is very productive and good, such as like art or sport or reading or anything like that, and that's really great. And I think that's a great way to spend time with yourself, is like do art by yourself, you know, like journal, and those are all great, and those are kind of the deeper avenues. But even deeper is meditation, and I think that's the pure state of being alone and really achieving a sense of connectedness through that. And I've felt more connected through meditation than I ever have with anyone else, and realizing that I can achieve that state through being fully alone, fully in my own body, makes me really understand that this feeling of loneliness comes from within, and it's not reliant on anyone else. With that being said, we are social creatures. We do need other people. It's not sustainable or realistic to meditate every second. You know, it is ingrained within our biology to love other people and to be with other people and want to feel like a part of something greater. So I thought I would share some tips for you guys with how to kind of feel more connected, be part of a community in whichever facet that you feel is needed in your own life. So for me, I travel, but if you don't travel and you're feeling lonely, these can still be applicable. So the first one that comes to the top of my head is do things that you love to do that are very like social type things. So if you love playing soccer, try to find some, I don't know, look up some soccer things. I don't know anything about soccer. I've never played soccer. It was just the first thing that came to head. I really love rock climbing. I love art. I love meditation. And so when I'm traveling, I'm looking for those things. Oh, and I love veganism. So I'm looking for all these things to meet people within those communities. So for meditation, I recently did a meditation retreat. I met some great people through that, and I'm also planning to volunteer with that. So that's great. Like, if you're into anything, you can find volunteer opportunities for that. And that's great because you can be of service, you can help other people, and at the same time meet other people. So it's really a win-win situation there. Sports are great because you can really like go to gyms and meet people and stuff like that. Rock climbing is a very social sport, and so is like the team sports like soccer and stuff like that. So you can really meet people through those avenues and through those things you love. If you don't know what you love, then you first need to spend the time alone to figure out what you love before you can then meet people within those areas of like passion for you. So again, it all comes back to being alone and feeling really good about being alone before you can like go out and really meet people in a way where you build that deep connection. So I think that being alone is like #1 priority. The next thing is dating apps. I only recently started using dating apps. I honestly never really used them before because I thought like, oh, I want to meet people in an organic way. But honestly, like, fuck organic ways. I don't know. That was a little aggressive. Maybe not fuck them. They're great. I think that it's awesome to meet people through those communities that I was talking about. But we live in like a very abnormal society. We don't live in an organic way whatsoever. We live in these boxes. We like communicate through these boxes. And so it's just a way to connect with people in a world that is so disconnected. Like, we're so disconnected from each other. So I honestly think it's a great avenue to meet people. With that being said, do it safely, meet people in public. Like, obviously take those precautions, especially if you're like a woman, even if you're a man. Like, if you're traveling alone, you're in a new place, definitely be very safe with that. But yeah, I think that's a great avenue. I've met some amazing people through dating apps, and it's really great if you're like traveling to a new place that you're unfamiliar with to like meet some locals. They can show you around. That's really great. Honestly, those are like my 2 tips. Friends of a friend. Yeah, I can't even think of anything else. So I think those are all my tips. I hope that that was useful to you. I am literally sweating right now because I had to turn off all my fans in the van because they're so noisy. But, yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!